So my top 4 personal values include stability, security, safety, and family. When I talk about stability, I desire no unexpected change. And then if there is unexpected change, I desire that security, that freedom from fear and anxiety, and the safety, economically, but also like safety, like being myself. Like I want to express myself without fear of consequences or judgment. And then family is another value of mine. I have created and chosen family, and I love it. It brings me fulfillment. Where do I see alignment between my personal values and the values of the social work profession? So I feel like each season of my life, my top values change, kind of depending on where I am environmentally and during my personal growth. However, I feel like with my current top values, stability, safety, and security show up in the social work profession because most clients and most individuals desire that, right? Like the main goal is to have equal rights and have stability and safety and security and your basic needs, right? And I think that goes back also to the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? It's like that base, lowest level is stability, safety, security, right? I feel like my personal value of family will show up in the social work profession, possibly more strongly with certain cultural norms and practices than others. I have a feeling I will see all different types of family dynamics, maybe some that have the best family dynamic and some that have no family at all, and everything in between. I think going back to the Maslow's hierarchy of need, that goes into the human connection and having your community and your people and your safety, right? In order to get to the top and the personal fulfillment, you've got to have your levels, right? So where might tension or conflict emerge between my personal beliefs and my professional responsibility? I could see some tension and some conflict emerging between my personal beliefs and professional responsibilities. Maybe because as an outside looking into a client's life as a therapist, I might think that I have the answer, or I know how to fix it, or I know how to have it to where a client has stability and security, right? I'm a fixer. And I also might encounter some of my own judgment, right? Like, oh, just leave that person, they treat you poorly, right? But my professional responsibility is to allow a safe space, a safe environment for people to come and process what they're going through and to identify what they're going through, identify what they want and how to get there on their own terms. They are the expert of their lives. They walk in their shoes 24/7. Who am I to think I know the answer because I meet with them 1 hour a week, right? Like, I think that goes back to the professional responsibility of treating the individual as an individual, right? Everyone has their own identity and their own needs and their own desires, and meeting them where they're at. How do I anticipate navigating situations in which my personal values differ from those of a client, colleague, organization, or community? Full transparency, I'm going to have to continue to check myself. I can be judgmental sometimes, or think that I know best, or I know it all. And I actively, I do it all the time, is I check myself. I'm like, hey, like, no, girl, like, no. I also read the Let Them Theory book. I don't know why. I really enjoy it. I think it's really helpful for me. And I think it goes back to that control cycle of like what's in my control, what's out of my control, right? And it brings it back to me identifying what's in my control, what is for me, what I need to do, what I desire. I am still learning how to desensitize and to detach myself. I think that there's a healthy level of desensitization and detachment within the social work profession. I've seen social workers that have like that perfect level, that work-life balance, and I envy that. I desire that. I think that goes with just a lot of self-care, a lot of practice, and a lot of trial and error to find what works for us. But I'll get there. Is ethical social work primarily about following professional rules and standards, or is it about advancing human dignity, justice, when the right course of action is not clear? Explain my response. I think both. I do. I think that rules and standards are important. I love me some rules. I do better with the black and white, like I'm a problem solver, right? And with the black and white, those rules and policies and procedures are great. And I think that policies and procedures and that keeps people safe. It is a great map. It helps keep the company safe, but also the social worker and the client safe, right? However, realistically, in the social work field, there's a lot of gray area, right? And I think what it comes down to is just really following what the missions and values of being a social worker is, and the code of ethics, and really doing no harm and seeing the client for the client, and having good intentions, right? And I think that that's what it stems down to. It makes me think of like, okay, well, there's this rule of, not gift giving, right? Because that can blur some lines, which absolutely it can. Totally agree. But then in my mind, I'm thinking, well, what if I have a client, it's the middle of winter, they're homeless, they came into my office, they don't have shoes, right? Just so happens I have a pair of shoes, same size. Can I donate it? Can I say, hey, this was donated from the community and give it to that person? I mean, that's kind of like one of those gray areas. And if I were in that gray area, I'm going to be really honest, I would say that it was donated from the community and I would give it to the person that needed it. I think it's just about doing no harm, having good intentions, and following those ethics and the rules of being a social worker. Yes, but that gray area it's about having good intentions and a pure heart.